Hello, if you're new to the channel, I'm Ryan Kaur, just an ordinary guy trying to share what he is interested. And today we have skincare. At the beginning of my skincare journey, I thought that there were many research about the efficacy and the effectiveness of certain skincare ingredients. I was genuinely quite happy that the industry was so simple and so easy to go in at first. Then I thought I would just select the ingredients that I would like with the effect corresponding it and then just include it in my skincare routine. I thought it would be that simple only. Turns out this is simply not the case. Most of the research papers are kind of over-promising the results of the skincare ingredients, or rather there's a conflict of interest in terms of the funder who funds the project of the research and the research being done, which to me I feel like is kind of scammy in a way which I don't really like at all. And also, it's not that the researcher doesn't want to make good research anyway. It's about that the nature of dermatological research paper is just simply difficult to measure because it is difficult in terms of its nature of research and the method of judging whether there's a cosmetic improvement or not. It is highly subjective, so it's very difficult to quantify the data that they have. So always take a grain of salt whenever you see the companies and skincare companies trying to push for their product and over-promising the effectiveness as well. But the question remains, should we completely ignore all the skincare products out there? Let's watch the video and find out. Let's roll the intro. So let's talk a little about why skincare is so important. This is because skin is the largest organ in our body, and I think that it's important that we provide it with what it needs in order for it to thrive and try our very best to protect it well. Skincare for teenagers like us does not require much as we are still young and our skin is doing optimally fine with its own condition already. Like exfoliation, elastin production, collagen production, which gives us the bounciness that we have. So mostly what we do is primarily preventing further damage to the skin so our skin can last longer in this state, or rather you can say protecting it well. Skin is what we show to the world, how we present ourselves to the whole world. So I think that it's very important that we invest a little bit of money into our skincare, and skin can make us much more confident and comfortable with ourselves, showing ourselves to the world the best way possible. First, cleanser. Cleanser is very important as it removes dirt and debris as well as sweat and excess oil that is produced by your skin. I used to believe that I need to strip every oil on my skin in order to prevent acne or keep it clean, but that's not simply the case. However, the research right now is saying that we should not strip completely of the oil out of our skin. Instead, we should leave some behind, allowing it to still serve its role of protecting our skin as well. This will be varied depending on your skin type. Although there is not a dermatological scale in terms of skin type, I think it's very useful for us to determine what are the problems that you might have encountered and what kind of cleanser might suit you better than the others. If you have an oily skin, I would suggest you using a normal to oily skin cleanser. The label will normally have it on there and it will be more suited to your needs. If you have a skin that is acne prone and kind of bumpy and rough on the surface, I would highly suggest you to use an ingredient or a cleanser that includes salicylic acid or SA that will help you dealing with this problem. It helps with exfoliating or removing the dead skin layer above your skin and allowing the bottom layer of the skin, which is newer and younger, to shine through, making your skin smoother and nicer to the touch. Personally, I recommend these three cleansers for you because it suits me very well. I am not sponsored in any way possible. So I have a combination skin, having a T-zone, oily T-zone here and a dry skin everywhere else. So I cycle between three cleansers: CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser, CeraVe Salicylic Smoothing Cleanser, and currently I'm trying out Cetaphil Gentle Cleanser as well. This Cetaphil Gentle Cleanser is relatively way cheaper and it is very consistent with its texture, so I personally like it more recently, and it is very gentle, like the name implies. It's very gentle and it does not strip me of my skin at all, making my skin more smoother after cleansing, even less drier after. So if you're using a cleanser, make sure that after you finish using the cleanser, your skin does not feel tight and dry. It must feel nice and moist and really nice on the touch. Sunscreen. Alright, I know sunscreen is very annoying to put on, especially you need to do it twice a day or whenever you want to go out. However, there's no skincare ingredient currently can work to repair the damage that can be prevented by a sunscreen. In this case, it is is very true that prevention is better than cure. If you were to take anything from this video, please apply sunscreen. I've been trying to convince everyone around me to wear sunscreen at the very least. I hope what I can do is at the very least convince you wear your sunscreen on a daily basis. Especially if you are a country like mine, which is Malaysia, a tropical country. You have sun exposure to the max every single day, especially during lunchtime. So apply your sunscreen before lunchtime if you can, or when you're going on an exercise. And yes, you still need to apply sunscreen even if you are indoors, because the UVA sun rays can still penetrate through the window, which causes aging, which is primarily what we want to prevent. And also UVB can be blocked by the windows, however, which can cause skin cancer. So please continue to wear your sunscreen unless you are a vampire who hides in the dark. Since I'm a teenager with not much money, so I choose to use this very cheap sunscreen from 3W Clinic. I can use a bottle and last around 2 months on applying daily basis 2 times a day. So I think it's quite worth it per se. It's only 8.5 ringgit only. Then moisturizers. It is important that we apply moisturizer twice a day on a daily basis. This is because the moisturizer can help to trap moisture and water on your skin, making it more hydrated and looking healthy and nicer all around. So there's actually 3 types of ingredient that is in moisturizer that helps to tackle this issue. First are humectants. Humectants attract water from the air and allowing it to absorb into the skin. It is hygroscopic if you say it scientifically. One of the ingredients is hyaluronic acid, which even though its name implies it's an acid, it's not that strong of an acid, and it's a very hygroscopic thing that allows it to attract water from the surrounding air and allowing it to absorb into the skin. Second are occlusive. Occlusive forms a barrier, a physical barrier on your skin, preventing water from escaping from your skin out to the outside, which you can say is acting like a wax for preventing transpiration in plant if you learn science a lot. The third is emollient, which goes in the skin, in between the skin cells, allowing it to replace the function of the lipid and making the skin directly impact the skin function better on its own. One of the examples of emollient is Vaseline. Honestly, you don't need to think much about it. I'm just giving you information about it. Most moisturizers already include 3 of these ingredients and making it the best. Personally, I use a CeraVe moisturizer because it is very cheap and effective, and it comes in a very large tub. I also use Vaseline quite a lot whenever I have acne. I apply a thin layer of Vaseline on my acne whenever I have them, and it greatly improves the wound healing abilities of my skin, and it prevents any further scarring as well. Do not underestimate the function of Vaseline. This is the best thing I ever used before, and it greatly improves the function of my skin anyways. Even in some medical setting, they use Vaseline to improve the wound healing of certain patients. Lastly, one of the most important ingredients that you need to have in your skincare right below sunscreen is retinoids. Retinoids can have a lot of functions, especially if you have acne. There are many functions to retinoids. It can improve collagen production. It can also exfoliate and unclog pores as well. It is basically the closest thing we have to a wonder ingredient in skincare really. It is very well researched, and even the research method being done is very nice and very accurate. And it is also very safe unless you are pregnant, because retinoids in an oral form is said to be very affecting to the pregnant woman. However, just like at the start of the video, take anything with a grain of salt. Retinoids comes into 3 forms, 3 levels of form. The first being retinols, and it's being converted into retinaldehyde and then being retinoic acid or tretinoin. The active form of retinoids is actually retinoid or retinoic acid. However, you can only get it under prescription by a dermatologist, and you cannot get it over the countertop or in any pharmacy really. However, the commercially available retinoids is actually retinol or retinaldehyde, which are not as well researched as compared to tretinoin or retinoic acid. So if you are available and you can see a specialist, a dermatologist, you can ask them to give you a prescription and listen to their advice as well. However, for us, people who cannot have access to specialists or dermatologists, I think it's okay and just fine, especially when we are young, that we can just get the commercially available retinoids. So personally, I am using this Olay Retinoic Serum. So it is working quite well, I guess, because it takes a long time for the result to really impact, and I think that it improves my overall skin behavior as well. So this video basically summarizes everything you need in skincare and what are things that you really actually need in your skincare routine. There's a lot of fluff in the skincare industry. They are over-promising their results and always trying to, I think in a way, they're trying to scam us out of money and promises that cannot be withheld with their products as well. So I have narrowed it down to the very few that actually can give us a very high percentage of the effectiveness of the skincare as well. Of course, it cannot be the 100% skincare routine, but I think it's already reaching a 90% of the skincare result you can get by doing all these basic skincare routine already. We can do it early and prevent any damage or further damage by the sun to our skin. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, like and also subscribe to my channel.